It's okay. That's okay. Unit 3. We're going to talk about algebra part, the algebra in applied math. So we're going to talk about polynomials. What is a polynomial? We're going to talk about expressions and then equation and how to solve an equation. So lesson 1 first. So in this case, we're going to learn the vocabulary used to describe the polynomials. Identify parts and types of polynomials. So those, lesson 1, page 1. Our goal for today is to learn vocabulary that are essentials with polynomials, identify the types, and identify the parts. So, algebra. Algebra is the branch of mathematics that uses symbols to represent the unknown values. So that's what algebra is. So in terms of algebra, we're going to be solving, and then you're going to see a lot of like solve for x, solve for y, solve for m. So that's what algebra is. A mathematical term. Okay? A mathematical term. What is a term? Consists of a coefficient. So we're using some words in here that maybe some of you have heard before. Maybe some of you have not heard of it before. So a mathematical term consists of coefficient. Well, what's a coefficient? It's a number. It's a number. And a variable. What's a variable? That's the letter, right? So a coefficient is a number. And the variable, we'll just go here, variable, we write down here the letter, which are being multiplied together, and or a constant, which is a number without any variable. So the word constant is just a number on its own, no variables attached to it. So here, 2x. Okay, well, what's 2x? Really means 2 times some number x. Okay? 2 times some value x amount. So the coefficient is the number 2, and then the variable is the x. Okay? Coefficient, number, variable, x. Another term. Okay, so this is a term. It's composed of a coefficient. Okay, so this is one term. It's coefficient, which is a 3, and then the variable. What's a variable? The letter x. Okay, and it just so happens that the x variable is raised to the exponent 2. Okay, so it's just raised to the exponent 2. So here's an example. 7xy is a term. So 7 is known as the coefficient of the term, and x, y are the variables. So when you're actually looking at this, 7xy really means 7 times x times y. Okay, so 7xy means 7 times x times y. There's no need for the x multiplicate. There's no need for x as a multiplication symbol. Okay, so we don't do this. Right? It's just 7 times x times y. Why is that? Yeah. Well, you're not sure, is this the x variable or is this multiplication? Right? So it's confusing, right? So we're now eliminating the x as a symbol for multiplication, right? Another thing too is that sometimes we go like this, right? Brackets means multiplication. Well, we've gotten rid of that one too, because we know that when you have 7xy, it's understood that it's 7 times x times y. Okay? So you don't need to do the multiplication symbol, and you don't need to do the brackets, because when it's like this, in algebra, it's understood. It's like a language on its own. That's what it means. So I'll put that on a quote. That's what it means. 7 times x times y. 7xy. Okay. Now, polynomial. Okay, what is a polynomial? A polynomial is a mathematical expression made up of terms connected by addition or subtraction. So there could be 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 different terms that are connected to each other by adding and subtracting. So a polynomial can have coefficients, variable or variables, whole number exponents, and or constant that can be combined using addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, except by a variable. So here are some examples of polynomial. So this is a polynomial. So it has just one term, 3x squared. 3x squared. So this is a polynomial. This is a polynomial that has 3 different terms, so different individual terms. So 6x plus 7y minus 14. So 6x, what's a coefficient? 6. What's a variable? X. For the 7y, what's a coefficient?
7.
What's a variable?
Y.
What about the minus 14?
Polynomial.
Yeah, so this one here doesn't have a variable, so we'll call it a constant. It's constant because it's not changing. This value of this term doesn't change. What about this one? How many terms do we have? 1, 2. Okay. The first term is 81m squared. So what's a variable? M. Very good. What's the coefficient? 81. What about this one? What's the coefficient?
2.2.
Okay. Very close. It's because it's a minus, it's negative 2.2. And what's a variable?
Y squared.
The variable is the letter, which is the y. Okay? Good. So here's another example of a polynomial. So polynomials have whole number positive exponents. Okay? So polynomials have whole number positive exponents on their variables. So these are not polynomials. Okay? So why is this not polynomial?
Division.
Whole number.
By division.
Yeah, it's like so this is a division by a variable. So this is not a polynomial because there's a division of a variable. Because of division of variable. Okay. Why is this one not a polynomial? 6x plus 10x to the negative 4.
Negative.
Yeah, because the exponent is negative. Because exponent is negative. Oh, this is tricky because, okay, well, give it a try. Why is this not a polynomial?
Because it's division, yeah, there's no exponent.
Okay. Oh, okay. So this one here
Square root.
is the square root.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Square
Oh,
root.
yeah. It kind of looks the same. I know. I hear you because I know sometimes. Yeah.
Square root is nothing together.
What is a square root? Anybody know what the square root means? I know we've done square root before, right? Like square root of 4 is 2. Square root of 9 is
Something is
3.
multiplied by itself.
Number
The number that multiply by itself.
to get the number.
The number that multiply itself to get
Not explain.
the product. 9.
Okay, a number to multiply itself to get the 9. Okay, good. Yeah. Excellent. Okay. Can I show you something? Take out your calculator and do it this way. Square root of 81.
Is 9.
Okay, no, some of you didn't even. Okay, okay, so square root of 81 is 9. So try it. If you didn't try it, go try it. Okay, did you get 9? Yes, okay. Square root of 144.
12.
12.
4. 12. I thought you said 4. Okay. Okay, try this with me. So did everybody get square root of 144 is 12? Okay. Here, this is what I want you to try, okay? What's 81 to the exponent 0.5? Ooh, that's weird. We've never really talked. Applied math, we don't talk about this. In pre-cal, we will. We did. What would it be? How would you write this on your calculator? I don't know. Well, how did you do that on your calculator?
I just
Okay.
Press the exponent.
Yeah. So you probably did this. 81. You have the x to the y button, exponent button. Y to the x to the y.
Mine's up.
Or the caret, like that, upside down. So that's your exponent button, right?
Oh, what is it?
Okay, so type in 81, exponent button, 0.5. 9. Oh, that's weird.
Where is it?
Exponent, oh, okay. Exponent. Okay, raise up your hand if you could not find the exponent button.
Where is the exponent? I want to say exponent. The exponent
Ini mas belum nasab. Ini analysis 81 exponent 0.5.
Kok error ada?
Respond.
Yeah, exponent.
Answer is 0.
Okay, so your exponent button is
No answer.
There is answer.
There is an answer.
You put 0.5 or?
Oh, it's backwards, like X.
I can't do it.
Yeah, here.
See, the answer is the same.
That's actually more.
Can you tell me this one? But
Calculator super nice here. This one. So 81 y to the x 0.5.
what about this one? This is exponent. Eh?
No, no, it's not. That's the
Expression or something.
that's the scientific notation. Not the exponent. It's like times 10 to the power of.
Oh,
Yeah.
power.
Yeah. The power. Yeah. So if you want to go.
You better to listen.
Yeah. Okay, I'll show you. Okay, so everybody is okay with their calculator. So if you type in 81 to the power of 0.5, you get 9. Okay, interesting. Interesting. Square root of 81 and 81 to the root of 81 to the 0.5 exponent will give you the same answer. Maybe that's just a fluke, right? It's just okay. Let's try another one. Try 144 to the exponent of 0.5. 12. Oh, okay. So what's going on here?
What is magic?
A magic. No, it's not magic. It's math. So, yeah, exactly. So square root really means, now you gotta sign up for pre-calc, right, after this. Square root really means raising a number to an exponent 0.5. Right? So,
Can you say
square root is the same thing as raising a number to 0.5 to a half. So if that's the case, going back to this, okay, so we know that this is going to be 7m to what exponent? Square root of 7m is the same thing as 7m to the 0.5. So that means, why is this not a polynomial? Because the exponent has to be a whole number positive. Right? So this one here is not a whole number. Exponent is not a whole number. Okay. The last one. Why is this not a polynomial? Yeah, so because we divide by a variable. Okay. So we got some examples of polynomials. We have some examples of not polynomial. Okay. So far so good? Yeah? Okay. Sample polynomials. Now, the polynomials is a blanket name for all polynomials. But if you want to be more specific, there's a specific name. The word mono means one. You do that in science, right? Mono something, right? Mono means one. One term. Right? So when you have a one term, you got 4x squared. Here, 2a cubed plus 7. How many terms do you have? 1. here and another one there. It's 2, and the word bi means 2, like bicycle, 2, right? Bi means 2. So 2 terms. So this is one term, 2a cubed, and then the other one is positive 7, 2. What about this one? How many terms does this have? 3. So what's the first term? X squared. What's the second term? 2x. What's the third term? The 8. Okay, so 3 terms. 1, 2, 3. And this is called a trinomial because the word tri means 3. Tri means 3. Okay. Now, we wrote down the quadrinomial, quad. Okay. This is an example of quadrinomial. It's 4 terms. So quadrinomial means 4 terms. Quad means 4. Okay. So we get monomial, which is 1 term. A term is separated by a plus or minus. A term is separated by plus or minus. So this is 1 term, 14abc. The second is 7z. The third term is negative 3x. And then the fourth term is 19, which is a constant. But all of these, the general term is called polynomials. But to be specific, depending on the number of terms, you have either monomial, binomial, or trinomial. In this particular course, we're actually going to be talking about a binomial, and work with a binomial when we look at linear function. We'll talk about that later on when we talk about linear function. Later on too, we're going to talk about a trinomial, which is on quadratics. I don't want to get in there because that's totally different thing. Okay, so let's take a look at example 1. So example 1, refer to the table below and answer the question that follows. So let's see here. The first one is 2m, 5c squared plus 4cd, 8 plus a minus b. Okay, all of that. Which of these 6 polynomials shown are monomials? So which ones are monomials? What is a monomial again?
A.
Means 1 term. So which one is a monomial? A,
E.
A and E.
Yeah.
Anything else? That's it? Monomial, because there's only just 1 term. Are you sure? Yeah? Okay, good. Very good. That's a good answer. Which polynomials shown on the table are trinomials, which means 3 terms?
C and F. C and F.
C and F. Okay. Yes? 3 terms, yeah? C, why is this 3 terms? You got the 8, you got the A, and then the negative B, and then the F would be 2LW, 2HW, and 2HL. Oh, that's a formula for something. We'll talk about it later on too. Letter C, which polynomial or polynomials shown in the table have a constant term? Have a constant term. Constant means no variables attached to it.
Yeah.
Has a constant term. Does this have a constant term?
E only. No. E only.
Constant.
E.
You say what?
Okay, constant term means no variable attached to it.
So E.
Okay.
No variable
E.
have a constant term. So
So-
C has a constant term. Anything else? Hmm?
What about E?
D?
E.
D? D? Oh, okay, sorry. And what else? E.
I told E.
Yeah. So constant term. So this is constant, no variable attached to the term. This has is constant, the one, and then this one has a constant. It is just constant, negative 20. Letters. Did we miss anything? No. D. Which polynomial shown in the table that have a coefficient 2? Coefficient 2.
A.
A.
Coefficient 2 is
A.
letter A. Yeah?
And
F. Yeah.
F, yes? Anything else? No? That's it? C?
No. C is 8.
Yeah. So the coefficient is 2. The word coefficient is the number that's attached to the variable. Okay, so a number that's attached with the variable.
I have a question. I guess in here. We said polynomial have whole numbers, yeah? They don't have negatives. On the other page, we said.
Yeah.
Did you say that? Polynomials have whole numbers. Only in exponent?
Only in the exponents, yeah. Only exponent, yeah. So the question with Merit was polynomials has to be a whole number positive exponent. You could have a negative coefficient and you can have a negative constant, just not yet. Good. Yeah, let's talk about different things, right? Okay, example number 2. Example 2, you're given a polynomial here. State the number of terms. So how many terms does this have?
2.
2 terms. Okay, very good. 2 terms.
They have to be multiplied together to be a term.
The term are the ones that are yes? You're
Yeah,
okay?
I understand now.
Good. Very good. Yeah. Don't walk away without asking a question, because I want to make sure that everyone's good. So the number of terms, you got, this is one term, 10t squared, and then the other one is just a negative 3. So that's 2. Okay, state the coefficient. 10. Why did somebody say negative 3?
Yeah, I will say.
Close.
Negative?
Minus.
Okay. What is a coefficient again?
It's
So a number that is attached or multiplied with a variable, right? That's a coefficient. So looking at this, it's okay. We're going to review this. So this, when you have a term, you have coefficient that's attached to a variable, multiplied with a variable. Okay? So looking at this one, the only number that is attached to a variable is 10. And attached to a variable means multiplied with a variable. Good? State the number of variables. 1. Okay? Yeah, I gotta be careful here because I was just gonna write down t. It says state the number. It means how many variables there are. 1. State the constant term. Close? Negative 3, because there's a negative there. Good. Very nice. There's a lot of vocabulary here. Next example. Example 3. Use your knowledge of polynomials to figure this out. Okay, so the polynomials is 3n squared, sorry, 3n plus 5n squared. How many terms? 2. What's the name of the polynomial?
Binomial.
Binomial. What are the coefficient or coefficients?
3 and 5.
3
5.
and 5. What are the variable or variables?
There is an N. Oh, N. 2 N.
Just n, because they're both n, right? Yeah. No, because the squared, the word variable is the letter. It's just the square is the exponent that's attached to that variable. Okay. Next one, 7x. Number of terms is
1 term.
1 term. What is it called?
7.
Monomial.
Monomial.
Coefficient?
7.
7. Variable?
X.
X. Next one. Number of terms.
3.
Number of terms is 3. What is it called? Trinomial. Number of coefficients.
12.
Negative 12. Oh, this is a tricky one. Tricky one. Nobody. Tricky one. 1. Well, where is the 1? Yeah. It's a, yeah. Remember I said tricky one? Yeah, it's a tricky one. Yeah, there you go, tricky one. And where did that 1 come from? Because when you have x times y, it's automatic 1. There's a 1 as a coefficient. Okay? Good. Variable or variables. Y and x. Okay, so x and y. You got 2 variables there.
How about if there is a variable in front of 5? You did 2 of them.
Say that again.
There's a variable on 5, before 5, like W5.
If it's just 5?
No, W5.
If it's W5,
Yeah.
would be the 5 would be the coefficient variable is the W. So you're saying this if it says W5? Yeah. Normally, the way to do this, you would write it as 5 times W. Start with the coefficient and then the variable. Yeah. Did it? Are we okay? Okay, fill out the next one. What is this? Number of terms?
3.
3. Name of polynomial.
Trinomial.
Trinomial. What are the coefficients?
1. 1.
5 and
Minus 3.
coefficients 1. And where's that 1?
4 minus.
Before the x squared right there. It's tricky. 5 and minus 3. Because the negative 3, that's a constant. Yeah. Coefficient is the one that goes with the variable. Hmm?
Tricky.
With the variable, with the letter, yes. Okay, and the variable here is
So anytime
x. Oh, sorry. Last one. What's the number of terms?
2 term.
name? Binomial, because the word bi means two.
By the way, I have a question for the one above. So if there's two variables with the same letter, you just write down one because there's two extras.
This one?
Yeah, no, the one down. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, so this is just one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, no, I meant like, yeah.
No, yeah. Let's hear your question.
No, I was just, because there's two x's. There's one x to the power of 2.
Ah.
And there's 5x, so why is there only one x?
Oh, here?
Yeah.
For the variables?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the word variable is the letter.
So you just
The
go,
letter?
okay.
Yeah, just the x. Yeah.
If there's a 5x,
Because the 2 is called exponent.
How about
Okay, next one.
total, right?
Let's finish this off. Coefficients, what would be?
By addition.
6. And variable? M. What about 20? Well, 20 is called a constant. Constant is just nothing is multiplied with it. Okay. So far so good. Those are good questions, right? Because we have new terminologies that we talk about, and yeah, it's just a matter of getting used to it. Okay?
Okay.
Yes.
So in x square 2, any time that we see x or y or x and y, we have to put 1. We have to remember that there is
Yeah.
1.
If there's nothing there, it's 1. Can I give you another one? Oh, why am I doing equation? Sorry, I'm already going ahead. X minus y. What's the coefficients?
1, 1. There's 2.
Very nice. 1, 1, and
1.
minus 1. Minus 1. Okay? Good. Let's take a look at example 4. Last ones. Which of these are not polynomials? Is the first one not polynomial? Why?
Because it's division, even second
Divide by variables. Okay, yeah.
x also, number 3.
even
Is the second one a polynomial?
no, because there is a negative exponent.
Yeah, so no, because of negative exponent. Is this?
No.
All of them are not.
No? Why not?
No.
Because the square root of x
Raise
means
to this
exponent is
0.5.
0.5, which is less than 1. Oh, what about this one? Is this a polynomial?
No.
No, because you have to divide 2.
No.
Division of 2. Yeah, okay. This one is actually okay. Because when you're dividing of 2 is okay, it's just as long as it's not dividing a variable. Dividing of a number is okay. Dividing a variable is not. Okay, so that's okay. So this is okay. What about this one?
Oh, still, yeah.
Still what? Is it a polynomial?
Yeah.
Okay, so yes. It's okay, so it's yes. Okay. So that concludes our lesson. And wow, that's quite a bit of stuff that we talked about. It's